From above, hell unleashes into the fist of Naga. But unfortunately, the only thing he's fisting is the spawn door walls. So sad, as my name is not Chris Puckett.
Not
I
yet.
have instead Dogman, ZP, and Puckett. Not yet. Rebranding, rechanging again. Interesting.
It's legal in most states. Just go down to your courthouse. We can get that done for you, Dogman. In the meantime, Tempo ZP still has not rebranded in 15 years since being kicked from the Tempo clan, known for their incredible Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm play. ZP, defend yourself.
I mean, look, what it comes down to is that changing your branding when it's been out there for a long time is surprisingly difficult. That's all I got. But the reality is that I should have gone back like 10 years ago before I started casting and told me then to change. It would have been way easier then. But that's all I got.
Choose where to put your loyalty, kids. I have a video game controller tattooed on my arm. Dogman, we have some champions, though, loading up right now. And what's exciting is we know Virtus.pro were the greatest team in Europe for Season 1. But now we've got some new patch notes. We've got some new characters in the game. We have new team-ups in the game. New meta could change who is going to wear the crown in Europe. What do you see coming our way?
I think I would assume VP is still pretty good. I don't know. It seems like they are a team that adapts. And as you guys know, I mean, you can blame meta all you want if you're in North America in this case, right? Because we watched, like you guys said last week, Shiigami taking 100 Thieves' throne, and 100 Thieves also lost in MRC, so a lot has changed in North America. But in EMEA, it seems like VP is a consistent mainstay, right? They're just so good, top team every single patch. And personally, I don't think they will let that throne go. I don't know.
We're going to take a look here at our bracket. If you're just joining us, we're in the European portion of the broadcast, where previously it was Ex-Oblivione forcing a Game 5 out of Luminosity and their dual Iron Fist. Now Luminosity earns the right to play Virtus.pro for $1,000, and after this, Envy comes in with a brand new lineup. But let's focus in on our champs, because every time they've been here, when they're not on airplanes, they're dropping dubs. Look at this ZP, a ridiculous streak as they are just powering through the competition.
Look, especially here on Fight Night in general, you got to give it up for Virtus.pro, where they just pick good teams. As an org, it is hard to argue with their scouting. They are dominating in hero shooters, or dominating games even vaguely adjacent to hero shooters, and they really did pick a winning squad here so far in Marvel Rivals. But, you know, I'm curious their approach that we're going to see here today, because to me, I feel like if you're VP, change is bad. You don't like change because in Season 1, you were unstoppable. Now, maybe some things will give you more trouble than they did in the past. Already, it seems like Winter Soldier is not as valued as he was in the previous meta. Now you have another really good Vanguard, where Vanguard play was your strength before. I mean, look, it is as likely that we see a Nevix or Finzi come out and just choke slam the victory as it is that VP just bans Emma Frost every game, because they were good with the old Vanguards. They don't necessarily need the new.
I want to give a big shout out to the Rocket League homies who are tuning in. Daz said, hey, can I get my crew on here? We're like GM. I said, maybe in a few months. For now, Daz, sit back, relax, and record this VOD, because Sparker is about to teach you why you're not ready for the main stage. Fi also ridiculous on the Hella, but Finzi and Nevix, if you're looking at the global leaderboard, they are your top 2 ranked Vanguards. The front line has been ferocious. And to top it all off, Dogman, we have Saipe and Dredro in the back line.
Yeah, this is an absolute monster of a lineup. VP, I mean, we already know Saipe as well as changed roles going into this game, right? He's switched over from being a specialist on the Gengu over to now playing a lot more of the Loki and playing support. So he's done a great job transitioning. I've been teammates with him before. He is one of those guys that just has the it factor. And he's still young, too. He's not one of those ancient guys like the Vanguards for this team.
You played with him?
Yeah, like back in 2016 or something, when he was like 15. A European, I think he's Danish, right? So he's just like, he was a young guy back then. Now he's a little bit younger, but a little bit older. Still young, though.
And he still talks shit to you, Nevix and Finzi. Hold that. Hellfire Gala is going to be map number 1. ZP, you are extra excited about this as the man who not only sets up the matches, but also decides how to make them more exciting. You said, why not? It's season 2. Let's go to it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, we're coming in the money match. The reality is a lot of people are tuning in to see what is new in season 2. And it's not just the heroes. It's not the fact that Emma's new or the team ups are different or the meta is different. You got new maps, and we had to force at least one new map per region. And what better time to do it than the money match to see what is in play? And you talk about ways of setting the tone for a series. Well, VP has been good forever, but now you're bringing them to a brand new map where it's more of an even territory for all teams involved. So if LG wants to make a statement here in this series, start out on the new map and make it your own.
Luminosity has taken map off of VP twice. Other times it's been 3-0s, but recently they've been contesting. We'll find out what they decide to do. I do request Virtus.pro, don't ban Groot every single time. First time, let's mix it up today. Let's get weird. Dogman, real talk though, why would you do that?
What, ban out Groot first? I mean, just we don't want to play against him. That's about it. Maybe they like the Emma Frost. Maybe they want to play more towards that hero. And I think ZP had something to say. I
was gonna say, Puckett, beware the monkey paw. You love Emma Frost. You like seeing Emma Frost gameplay in here. You're like, don't ban Groot first. You might be seeing the Emma ban first. Now that you've made that wish, just be careful.
I'm cool with it. Hey, show me some stick man a little bit. You know, some roots. I'm here for it. Vine strikes all the way. If you have been playing Duelist, I highly suggest, if you want to do damage, Groot's the way to do it on the front line. Don't be that one who locks in a third DPS. Learn a new character. It's not that hard. Dogman does it every new game.
Every new game, yeah. Every single game I play something new. You know, that's the strat. It is a lot easier than you think. You're right. You said Bucket. Like I thought Iron Fist was like the hardest character in the world for some reason, like before playing him. And I'm like, wait, this character is just easy as hell. Like he looks buggy as crap whenever he's flying at your face, teleporting into you, punching you in the gut. So it looks complicated, but it's not. All you have to do is hold left click and you just teleport towards the enemy. It's great.
Ooh. I haven't given the fist a run yet.
Try him out. He's basically
oh god, we're going back to the Puck Fist era. That's all I heard here is like, we're going back in time.
No, I was talking to Dogman during the break. He said you like the gong sound from the haymaker from the thing.
Yeah, the thing.
I love it. You don't like it? There's no dopamine.
I don't know, ZP. Break the break. I hate it. I think it sounds lame as hell. It sounds like you have like a metal pan and you're just smacking it like against the wall.
I'm all for it. I mean, maybe it's because I was raised on like Looney Tunes and whatnot, you know, Cartoon Network when you're home and sick from school and you're looking at it. But like, no, I'm all for the cartoony goodness here. Like, give me the gong sound every single punch. Make it fun.
All right, Finzi, get out of my chat. Get into my lobby. It's time to do our bans and protects. I've filled for 5 minutes. I looked down. It didn't really take that long to fill. I believe we're jumping right into this one. If we don't have our players ready, can we show the world why Rivals is so fun? We have a few clips from previous broadcast. The Thing. He was recently added, but more importantly, Venom ZP was given a booty shake, and I spent my 600 whatever coins lattice on it this morning. Have you invested?
Look, I have invested in more ways than one. Look, if something might change with my camera, I don't know. But look, if production's going in the highlights, no. I don't want this. Get Jeff in there. Where's
There's
Jeff?
only like 200 lattice. Yes.
That's great. But if we could also get Jeff, we had a good highlight clip where Jeff and Venom had the strongest team up in Marvel Rivals history.
It's on social media. If you guys missed the cleaning before the matchup, there is a Jeff clip for everybody. I believe this matchup is almost ready to go. I apologize for the delay. Normally our Europeans are way better than our North American players, but this time around Virtus.pro decided they're done pooping. Game on. Bans and protects, Dogman. Where are we going? Is it a group ban?
It could be.
Yes.
Okay. You knew it, Puckett. You knew it.
Also, I love the music that we're getting here. The music here is actually a total vibe that you're getting on the brand new map. Like, maybe it just goes by musical choice, but it's kind of chill, but it also, pumps you up a little bit at the same time. But okay, VP, they banned Groot. Emma still on the table. What does LG come out and ban here? Do they maintain for the pre-series? And no, they don't want to deal with the side lock, which, given what VP's good at, kind of makes sense.
Chinatown Arcade. That's where this music comes from.
Just 3 seconds of head bobbing across the world here.
I would love
to
that.
get tweaky with your hands while you do the DDR. You guys know what I'm talking about. All right, Adam's in. Who else is? Lock them in, Virtus.pro, as they protect their Hella? Or... Oh, Torchy. All right, go on, boys. Go on.
Getting too distracted by the music since VP pointed it out. ZP VP. Oh, I didn't even put the two together.
There's a lot of P's in here, buddy.
no Psylocke though. That P we got rid of. Just
okay, good. It makes sense because like, well, LG Naga specifically, I don't know what it is. He just doesn't play the hero to the level that Sparker does, and I'm probably as tired of it as any European is, just saying how good Sparker is, because you just hear it all the time. Like, he's the best duelist in the game. Yada yada. I mean, he's that good, but is he, like, I don't know if he deserves that much praise this early onto the game.
I think he's that good. Okay. I think he's going to be that guy.
Is that guy?
Who was like the fall off?
Jonak.
In Overwatch. I'm trying to think. Overwatch? Yeah, Jonak. Season 1 crushes on, and then a little meta change, and he's not so expensive anymore.
Yeah, I mean, season 1, I mean, there's a lot of changes in season 1. Obviously, a lot of people on the DPS end would, say something like Carpe, right?
All the Swedes.
But Venom getting protected by LG, so LG not looking to go away from that. What I find interesting for VP is I'm just saying we don't want to deal with Rocket at all. We don't like what this has done to the game. We don't want to engage in the Rocket shenanigans. But the second protect may be telling. If it's not just a bait protect, it's something they want to play, and they protect the Luna. So to me, this is kind of VP when they're looking for stability. They don't mind the Emma, unless this band comes in as Emma, but they do not like the change in strategist play that Rocket brought in, and they just want to keep that part of the game stable.
Yeah, no raccoons needed, no Groots needed. You are going to get grounded and pounded, I have a feeling, by Nevix and Finzi on the front line for Virtus.pro. Luminosity, what are they trying to do? Make sure you don't flank them while also protecting a Venom. Can they go dive? Why do you have an Atom and a Venom in the same lineup, dog man?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you want to play that triple strategist, you can do it alongside really any tanks. And Venom specifically, like you said earlier, Puckett, that character just doesn't die. And I'm interested to see now that, Magneto's banned as well for LG's side. They want to make sure VP can't play that hero. It's interesting to me that they didn't want to get rid of like Invisible Woman or something. I know it's not really a huge priority for people, but that team up with Human Torch is definitely annoying. Giving him the shields in the sky is also annoying. So there's so much value to be had out of Invisible Human Torch. We'll see if VP even want to play that though.
Shout out to Leg Day. He says Ryu J Hong. Great call out. Yep. Saviel, made it more than one season. Much love to my guy. Here we go. On board with my guy Naga as he's ready to punch people in the mouth. It's Luminosity taking on Virtus.pro. $1,000 on the line. A best of 5 for the EU finals here. Week 7 of Rivals Fight Night.
So, Dogman, if we're not getting trolled by heroes in Spawn, which is always a possibility until these gates open, to me it shows like LG really was practicing with the Iron Fist. It wasn't just a let's mess around versus Ex Oblivione moment. Meanwhile, for VP, it's not a fake out with Torch. They're showing Torch, they're showing Invisible Woman. They might think it's the future. So, distinctly different look from VP. No Winter Soldier either. Once the mainstay of basically every comp they ever ran.
Yeah, I mean, I like the comp from VP, and we already seen how well Sparker played on the Namor. We usually see Naga, like I think Jake was saying last week. I mean, Naga is an insane talent on the Namor. Fist is interesting for sure. I mean, I'm curious to see who's better, because I feel like VP's comp theoretically is better, but from what we've seen in practice, LG's has been consistent in terms of getting these dives off.
Well, I think Torch is wildcard. I actually think Torch is ridiculous right now. So if VP has figured it out, it could go pretty bad for LG if they are not a fan of the hero. And right now, just see Phi laying in quite a bit of damage. And it's not so much a flyer hero. Like, it's just slightly in the air, but mostly just in your face, getting healed up and looking to take advantage of, honestly, very powerful left clicks. But so far, both teams not really committing much in the way of a full dive, just playing the neutral, waiting for ultimates. But as I say that, trust me, finds room in the back. Redro and Saipei down, and LG, Dogman, kicking things off big here in Krakoa.
Yeah, to me, it looked like VP were in the driver's seat, forcing out the early overshields from Trust Me's dive, but Naga just sat in the backline the whole time, forced VP supports kind of fall back, and now we're getting a stagger on Nevix, so that's brutal to see for the side of VP. I'm curious to see as well if they're taking advantage of that Gamma Squid bug we talked about earlier, ZP, where trust me, just LOSs the squid and then it doesn't do any more damage. And first fight goes LG's way.
Can we get some more Naga cam, please? I know he's in a corner, but next fight, the guy hasn't missed any of his abilities right now, ZP. I don't think we've seen a better Iron Fist here on Rivals Fight Night.
On the same note, I think Iron Fist, like, once you're in, you're not going to miss your abilities to it. It's more so he doesn't die after using his abilities, is what we've been seeing from Naga. The survivability has been huge. But as I say that, Naga's dead. I have cursed him into oblivion. Some things you can't survive, which sometimes is a caster talking about you mid-broadcast, but trust me, coming on in. Still looking for a little bit of delay here for LG. Still in control of the point. Rajaro, Psionic Seduction gonna be used. Virtus.pro here from the back. It's destroyed. Finishing off where Rajaro starts. And LG looking remarkably resilient here, Dogman, even as the invisible boundary, buys some time for VP, but certainly not control the point.
Well, it's so interesting that VP has let the Hela go through, and during this whole time, Destroyed has just been able to get so much value on the Hela. Able to escape with his life too. Nobody goes down. Sparker finally opens it up and they're able to walk back into it. So the peel was somehow there for VP's side, and finally they're going to win the fight. And that took so long for them to do it. I mean, they took absolute heroic plays from Sparker and crew to live through Rajaro's ult.
Now, you think about the setup for the next fight. Both teams have pretty much drained themselves here. I mean, Naga is going to have Iron Fist ult in the bank, but overall, you're going to get a relatively clean fight here at the very beginning before some of the Vanguard ultimates come into play. LG, 2 or 3 fights really to set the stage, so they can take their time a little bit on the setup.
They really can, and any space you can get on Hela, you'll 100% take advantage of because of how much value this Hela can get. Meanwhile, Finzi, early ultimate to peel on the point. Nobody's even here. I mean, he's just kind of caught out now, needs so much support. The bubbles as well from the Hulk, and that results in the backline 5 finally able to get online. You talked about the Human Torch being a wild card. Yeah, I mean, it's so much damage close range. This character can just pump so much out onto you.
It just feels like the world's slowest flank at times. It's not like Torch is like particularly fast, but you just see Fi's like, all right, I'm afloat slowly behind you, but if you don't see it, goodbye. And, Fi was just able to get to the back line, get the strategist pick, and, it's not really flashy. It feels like not a lot of action has happened in the last minute, but VP has almost evened up the game.
I was just looking at the comp, guys. It feels like once VP has the point, they have the ideal defensive setup. So now you just got to have the ult advantage going into round 2, right?
Pretty true. Yeah, I mean, you have to push into Torch neutral play. You have to push into the more squids. It's not easy to roll into this. And certainly, I mean, Trust Me has to run through the gauntlet. But here we go. Sparker sounds the horn, moves forward. Trust Me down by me. Meanwhile, gonna go Supernova here. Drops some fire tornadoes in the back. Luna gonna dance to it. Doesn't mind the heat. There's a Torch. Has to work all the way to the back. Sparker, meanwhile, dancing around the squids. Gonna go into the bubble, take a little bit of a reprieve as Naga's looking for the pickoff. Saipei was able to get on the Fate. And VP, hold on strong, just using the invisible boundary. Stay healthy and whole on the point. And LG, despite the good start here, Dogman, the finish somewhat lacking.
I always thought that, well, the big reason we didn't see Torch, I think, in the previous maps is maybe over here in EMEA, we don't have that many good Torch players. I think that Fi specifically proved that he can play the hero to a high level. I mean, sure, the first little bit, like, he was kind of struggling, but I mean, what do you do if you're on the other side on a Hela and you just like, you're supposed to be the counter to this Human Torch, but he's got all of that verticality cover. He has all of this objective to play around. Fi was like unkillable, man. It just seemed like he was able to get away with the slam so often.
All right, so LG, good start, rough end to the game. We'll see if any change-ups happen here for them into this next round. And it looks like that may be the case because, trust me, they're putting the Venom to bed, bringing out the Hulk, deciding we too want our radioactive squids. And I mean, Naga on the more, it's hard to argue with it, right? Given Naga's overall hero pool, I feel like the Iron Fist may be a little bit more experimental, but sometimes you just got to run what the other team is showing you is good. One key difference here, though, in terms of who's playing what, is that LG does not look like they at all want to mess with the Torch.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like, oddly enough, I don't remember if it was Destroy that played earlier or Naga, but I feel like Naga would be a good Torch player. In this map specifically, though, this is probably Torch's worst map. So I think if we see Luminosity lose this one, I don't know if we'll see much more of this specific matchup with Sashort and Hella, because the Hella should be able to dominate on this map. There's not as much cover to fly around besides these trees. After the trees get deleted from the sky, there's like nowhere for this torch to go. So I'd be curious to see if LG take advantage of the comp.
Naga's so close to getting a pickoff here. LG getting VP back. However, VP, they don't like the way it's going. They drop the Psionic Seduction, slow things down a bit, and Finzi, right place, right time, offers a lot of control to the fight. LG now just getting pummeled on all ends. A quick point cap going the way of VP.
I don't mean to be a doomer, ZP, but I think it might be kind of over for LG's.
Oh God, we have gone so far back in the time. This is like a vast Cove stream circa 2018, where everyone's all there. Like someone loses the first round or first fight in a control round, it's like it's over. It's absolutely over. There's no way back. Like it's done. Oh Lord.
But I mean, Puckett called it earlier, dude. The Human Torch defense is just brutal to go against, and I mean, they could get it done. Fi with the tornadoes hasn't gotten like direct value necessarily, but he's creating so much pressure, and now everybody's stuck on the inside and they're all burning to death.
They're stuck on the inside burning to death. That's usually what happens to get stuck into a burning building. It's not ideal, but Fi definitely putting out the damage. LG, you definitely see the problem they have of trying to get in, where you're navigating the ocean, you're navigating the fire, you know, water and fire both working against you. But if you get the pick on the torch, like Fate just did there, suddenly things go way better for you. You can put all your focus on the Sparker. You now got the 6-on-4. And VP, Nevix is gonna burn ult the, you know, do a little bit delay, and a little bit be the operative words. It does not last long. Dreedro, the Fate was a little bit mistimed, wasn't enough to keep Nevix in Hulk form. Warn though. Coming out here from Sparker, takes down Naga, and you know, VP, they're investing resources here as respawns come back on in via the portal. They don't like giving up fights for free, dog man.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. I just think that the portal, it just offers so much value. Oh my God, almost connects onto the Luminostone in the middle, but there's already no time left now for Luminosity, who committed the ultimates and still lost. So ZP, that portal was insane from Virtus.pro, and now they're just staggering this Hulk out. They're not going to have him for this last fight, potentially, man. They have no more ultimates. LG, what a tough spot to be in.
Here comes the portal, and this is also, you think their portal is maybe it gets out there. Oh, it's destroyed.
He
just walks up,
go,
cuts the flame, touches the point, and then properly times the Goss of Death. What a masterclass by Destroy to keep this going. And that's enough for LG. They get on the point. Naga gets the pick. They'll get control, but 1% to 99, still not easy to deal with. And Trust Me needs to get out of there. Stat.
Yeah, right now, easier said than done to pick off Fi. Fi now over to the Iron Fist, swapping off the Human Torch. I mean, he's only died twice, I believe, in this round, and both times it's resulted in VP going back to the spawn. So that's the pick he needs to find, but with Fi and how he's playing, he's just going to play all these angles, play all these corners, play out of LOS, and it's going to be hard to deal with.
All right, so VP, they get 3 solid attempts on this. Fi going for a little bit of pressure onto Namor, and Namor says no. Water quenches the fire with a little bit of trident on the side. So 6-on-5 right now for LG. Naga, meanwhile, dropping the horn. They get Dreedro right after. The old 1-2, Trust Me, goes in after the whale. Enough to get rid of Luna, and just like that, very efficient fight from LG here, Dogman.
It's gonna happen again, right? Nice pick off from Fi. Oh, that's so bad coming into it, man. Oh no. I mean, you have ultimates now. They have to hold on versus VP, who I'm sure are kind of working this current puzzle of this defense out.
And the interesting thing here too is Fate has to find a Luna to copy. Their Luna went down early, so okay, Fate's able to do it. Gets the Fate or copied Fate out. This will buy time for LG for Trust Me to get back in, drop the feast. VP still waiting on strategist ults of their own from Dreedro. Vinci though, on the point. LG still in control. 5 burning Trust Me down. Right in his face, tornadoes galore. Luna though, still dancing here for LG. LG looking to get the pressure here on the 5. Fi just barely able to stay alive as you get the Psionic Seduction in from Ajaro. 2 down for LG, and LG now bleeding out on all ends. Sparker has the whale, might be able to just end it here and now. Is LG right now struggling to find anything to stand the point. Whale gonna go down, point blank, and that should be it. VP coming in strong here on control Krakoa. We'll see if there's any delay, but right now it's looking like this one is done, and it is.
Did LG use their portal earlier? They must have, right? Because I think Fate tried to swamp to it. Yeah. So yeah, that was just going to be done no matter what. VP ZP, we talked about earlier, I mean, it just looks so good right now. VP, regardless of the meta they're playing, they just have a death grip right now on the throne, and LG, really tough map for them.
Yeah, and I think, again, the storyline to me that's interesting here is viability of where Torch is. I think there definitely is a defensive bias. I think, you know, what Puckett brought up is just like, yeah, you got to push the more Torch. Yeah, it's not great. I do wonder if LG, with their general aversion to like messing with it, decides that they want to ban it from here on out. I mean, look, it's a 5-map series. You got time to adapt, but it's a rough baptism here to the new VP.
Virtus.pro gets game number 1. That means it will be Luminosity's choice. But as we take a look at the highlights, it's exactly what I expected from the front line. Every time Finzi is in danger, jumping into action is Nevix on the Hulk. Fantastic work from Fi on the Human Torch. And for those who don't play it, Dogman, can you kind of explain his abilities? Like, why is the Torch a dangerous character that we could see more of tonight on Rivals Fight Night for Season 2?
Yeah, we were talking about a little bit about the hero in the green room. I think the big thing about Human Torch is he not only can dump a lot of damage downrange, right? Similar to Punisher. He can just absolutely be the highest damage dealing character in the lobby. Not only can he do that, he can also, you know, secure those eliminations himself. He can just dive in there, 1v1 an Namor, 1v1 whoever, because he can just 2-tap your face. You know, it doesn't matter. He's got the shotgun, and it can just shut you down on top of having overhealth now from his slam. So there's just so much added to this character slowly throughout, you know, a couple patches that has made him truly viable. Because I think originally when the character was released, he, you know, wasn't so strong. And
yeah,
now with just this constant ramp up, right, that he's had, and really we only saw Fi die whenever he was just out of position.
Yeah, there's the downside of playing is you're probably going to get tapped out of the sky a few times. Fi, ridiculous movement, fantastic support. It's Virtus.pro who takes the end of round 1. After they get the point, they don't give it back. I think you're going to see Luminosity go back to what we saw last week, avoid the dominations. Maybe play a little bit longer map where we could full hold them potentially, and then maybe push past checkpoint 1. ZP, you know this Luminosity squad. What do you want to see from them?
I think for LG, I think you completely hit the nail on the head, right? Like, get away from domination. But on the same note, I also think start adapting to what the new VP is doing. Like, it's not the VP of old. They're not coming at you with Winter Soldier. I think at a bare minimum, you don't necessarily need the ban Torch, but I do think you need to get rid of Invisible Woman at a minimum. I think it's a combination of the two. Because if you're playing the Hela, I think dealing with a non-force armor Human Torch is actually totally fine. I think giving up the both of them is just giving up too much durability to a hero that in an ideal form right now just kind of wants to get into your face, right? So for me, for LG, even more so than the map, I want to see some adaptations in the next draft.
Okay, as we take a look at the bans and protects coming up here, Dogman, Hulk, is he viable without Namor? Or if I ban Namor, am I getting a 2-for-1?
I mean, the changes Hulk got weren't like insane by any means. I mean, he moves a little bit faster, and did he get a health buff too? I'm trying to remember, but there was a couple things that happened to Hulk to make him sort of a good hero. And you know, a lot of times Hulk, you can play him without the Namor if you really want. You just need to not feed. I think that's the big thing. We see constantly so many Hulk players, at least I do in ranked, just be terrible. And you know, at the end of the day, just don't charge in there, because just because you have a 1,000 or a bajillion HP or whatever it is that Hulk has now, you just can't int, right? And Nevix did a good job of doing that. I think also, you talked about it earlier, the backline of VP is so good, man. I mean, both Saipe and Dridro are unbelievable players, and I think that's also a large reason that VP have been dominant, because they can just keep everybody alive at all times and not die to a Venom dive on their own side.
Right, dance floor was always flowing, some fantastic work back there. Keep your eyes on the supports, aka the strategists here in Rivals Fight Night. Big shout out to everyone who has made their return. And if you're here for the first time on twitch.tv, do me a favor and hit the follow button. If you're on Kick, this is our first night of Rivals Fight Night on Kick. Hit the follow button. If you're on YouTube, subscribe button. ZP, if you're on TikTok, what button's on that thing?
I'm not sure we got the button up today. I think that was an ongoing project where it might be a next week thing, from what I understand. I don't know. That'd be a Hex question, but I'm like 90% sure that the button was not pressed today. But
no, it's up there. It's up there. It's in the internet. Keep searching. It's your fault, not ours. We're going into game number 2, Luminosity. Looking to answer back. If you watched a week ago, this is where they did it. They did it early in the series against Virtus.pro. as the series went on, VP kind of established more and more dominance. So I'm thinking you got to counterpunch with your best map, your best mode, your best comp. And if I'm thinking of how to slow down Virtus.pro, what do I remove, Dogman?
Domination, first of all, just can't really play that. I think they didn't look the best on it anyway. Luminosity earlier. It's got to be that. I mean, I think what ZP said earlier, kind of get back to the basics almost. Go to a convoy. I think go to something like that, and I think they'll be in a good spot. So we'll have to see what Luminosity want to do. Maybe
character ban though at this point.
I mean, they banned Psylocke earlier. Could you maybe ban the Human Torch, like you said? I think what ZP mentioned with Invisible Woman. I mean, that's something they could do.
Ooh, the strategist bans. Yes.
I mean, that's the thing in this game. I feel like strategists kind of rule the meta. Like, you can kind of play whatever you want strategist-wise. If you get rid of, I don't know, there's so many good ones, right? We have Rocket Raccoon, who's good. He's just an unbelievable healer. You have Invisible Woman, who's also good. She's not even, like, the mainstay of the meta necessarily. You have Loki. You have Luna Snow. All these characters just don't die. And that's the main thing about the meta right now, is that no characters...
Sorry to interrupt you, Dogman. Beefy. We had Beefy Bread. Beefy Bread just hit a Prime sub. There was Beefy Bread with a Prime sub. They get their name on our screen for no money. They just spent $0. They just used old Jeff Bezos' new CEO's money to give it to ZP so that he can get more Luna Snow background. Sorry, back to you, Dogman.
Yes, that's exactly right.
What other professional broadcast can you get your name shouted out in a tournament? I mean, there's not a single one. There's not a single one. This is how unique Fight Night is. So you gotta press your Prime subs right now. Honestly,
get it done. We're going to Krakoa. Just kidding. That was done. We're going to Midtown. Game number 2, Luminosity's turn, and they are going to try and push this cart as far as they can go. ZP getting around the first checkpoint, normally pretty easy for our pros. Do you see any issues for LG at the start here? They're on the attack, knowing they picked the map.
I think if they let through the Torch Namor combo, again, you can get rid of the Namor here too, but if they let both through, I think that's actually going to be a problem. I think as a defensive setup from the duelist on the other side, it's not something you want to go into. I think for LG, they like things a little bit more when they can run things like Venom, make things a little bit scrappy, have room to work with in the back, and not have to just, go through just an enormous checklist to figure out, oh dear God, how do we even get this fight started, right? So, I think for LG, the draft is going to be paramount if they're able to even get through the first point here, which, by the way, can be a bit of a slog at times.
Stacy's Owner 01, lobby full of unks right now. Are you talking about the players? You talking about the casters? You talking about the chat? Yes to all. Virtus.pro, Luminosity, here are your bans from the previous map. We're going into map number 2. Time for some convergence, and Virtus.pro, for the 32nd time in a row, has banned group. We just want them to do it in a different order, Dogman. Just don't do it first. Like, switch it up on me. Give me a little bit of hope. Psylocke on the other side is gone. Luminosity choosing to protect Star-Lord.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting doing that. I mean, maybe this is for LG. If any team would try and go more triple strategist, it would be them. Star-Lord is still played pretty heavily into that. For VP, what I'm curious on is a Torch. It is. So I think what we saw from VP and Domination is still going to be what we're going to see from them here on Convoy, unless LG, please make the adaptation.
Sorry, ZP. T-Bone Lambo TV is right here. I don't know if you noticed. We got to stop, acknowledge T-Bone Lambo TV. All right, sorry. Continue here. That was a raccoon gone, and
it's going to be every single. By the way, every sub, is that really going to get called out? We're going that far?
Yeah, it happens on this show. It's crazy, Dogman. We've done it 141 times.
That's insane. That's crazy.
Okay, I don't know if we need the followers goal started. All right, that's a little far, mods. All right, that's a stretch. That's a little stretch. All right, let's get back to business here. Venom is going to be protected by Luminosity. We're going to see some more Trust Me fun and a lot of dancing. Do you get rid of Loki with your final ban if you're Luminosity? It's been your personal go-to in the previous series.
Honestly, if you get rid of the Loki, you kind of give away. They have liked running Winter Soldier here and there. You're not going to have the option to do it. The thing is, though, for LG, I don't think they have an aversion of running it themselves, so I don't necessarily think they're going to get rid of the Loki. Again, I'd like to see, they've already gotten rid of the Invisible Woman, so they've hurt the torch value, and okay, they still really don't like Cap. I don't know what happened to them in the scrims.
He whooped their ass in scrims, I guarantee.
Yes, there had to be some terrible scrim story because they literally opened the day. Fuck it, they opened the day just banning Cap from the get-go. Like, there's some trauma that occurred. That's all I know.
Dogman, what do you know about Cap that we don't?
I've just heard in scrims there's like some gross comps where you just play Cap and you just run it down on people just all the time. Like, Cap doesn't die, and that's the big thing, I suppose. Also just pumps out so much damage. Also gotta talk about how I keep mentioning how ZP's smart. I gotta stop doing that, man. I'm glazing the heck out of this guy over here. Don't do that.
Sorry, interrupting this broadcast to let you know that Line Pro has subscribed with a tier 1, a 142nd subscriber here on twitch.tv/Rivals Fight Night.
Also, I'll note, Line Pro was very helpful in getting Rivals Fight Night off the ground. And when I needed team contacts in EU,
Sorry, ZP, we've moved on from him. It's now on Arf's turn to subscribe to the channel.
Okay. Where's the appeal to production? Wait, we need a leash for Puckett, like just right in the end. Stop it. We must
like
end
10
it.
people here. This is like this is a big stream, dude. You know how many people are just gonna sub after mentioning that? You're crazy.
Hey, listen. I'm here for the money. Come on in, family. It's Rivals Fight Night.
Well, you know who else is here for the money, Dogman? Virtus.pro, because they've won it every single time they've played here at Rivals Fight Night. And they've changed things up from week to week. They got a new Vanguard in town with Emma Frost, backed up by the Human Torch. But they're still running it even without the Invisible Woman team up, so they just think it's that good.
It is. I mean, it really is that hero. It's just going to be harder to keep him alive because it's going to mainly be on Dridra, right? It's hard to hit the kind of sky shots on Saipe's side, but as long as he has that defensive backup with the clones, you can always sort of fall back with your slam. So that hero definitely still viable without Invisible Woman.
And LG off the pick, able to get Phi down. And look, you just think about last map. That probably doesn't happen if you have the Invisible Woman shield to go along with it. So,
yeah.
And it's not just the team up shield too. It's also just the actual like mini Invisible Woman bubble that you get with it too. So a little bit more difficult here for VP on the attack as we see Rajaro just getting pummeled in the corner. But the support play quite good for LG, keeping him alive as quick God of Mischief going to be popped here by Fate. As both teams, I think, Dogman, about to start some dancing.
Yeah, they're ready to go. Saipe obviously going to wait to the very last second to pop it. About 8 seconds left, and then he's going to utilize that ultimate, and there it goes early. Naga does match it on the side. Interesting counter by him. I don't know if he needed to pop the ultimate in this case.
A lot of dancing in the building going on right now. The observing nightmare that is going on, but it's destroyed. Getting caught by Nevix. Nevix, Hulk smash. It's a way of summing that one up as Nevix just keeps going.
I just don't get why Naga committed the ult. Maybe with the damage boost they thought they could get something, but just wait a little bit longer and you could easily find maybe at least another support ult out there. But just try to commit that super early, and now VP setting defensively with their very own tornado coming up. Oh my god, interesting portal placement right into our camera.
Right over and in. The portal is out and LG is in. Rajaro, Meteor M. Can he dunk one more time? Looking, no dunk to be had. Nevix Meal popping the ult. Destroyed though. Finding room to work with on this Hela. Gets 2 even as the Fate comes out. So Dridro not out in time to save him. And Destroyed just saves the goddess of death. Hey, I might be going down. No. I'm going back into the sky.
He's been so good, man. I think Sestroid has been the consistent player for LG, just able to find the opening picks consistently. Meanwhile, Naga gets picked off on the side. Really aggressive from LG. They're trying to win it here and now as Phi commits the Supernova on the backside, does trade it.
Yeah, and for LG, you lose your Emma here. You've lost a lot of your protection. Okay, you've lost your Magneto. You have no Vanguards left. You have nothing to save you for poke damage. Run. The answer is run. The point likely lost. Maybe there's a world where they get a little bit delayed, but it's going to be tough. Trust me, actually swapping over the Venom to try and get back to point earlier, and does get back in. So LG, they delay just enough time for the Vanguards to get back in. They get a little bit of delay here. It's still a losing fight, given that they lose Naga, but you still got to remove the Venom here to actually get the point, and well, they've done it.
Yeah, the damage output of VP is so much with this Namor and Human Torch combo. And I'm not even that high on Namor, to be honest with you, but it's kind of just Sparker on Namor is just him. He's just kind of like, over in NA we have Delena, who's kind of also insane Namor. And really, Sparker just does so much damage, so much output onto Luminosity's side. They need to get a hold here in the streets phase of the map. Obviously, VP have ultimates you have to burn through, and LG just haven't figured out this sort of back and forth right now. We'll see if they can here.
VP getting through first, moderate time. 2 minutes to get through second here. Naga opening things up here with the Galactic Legends. Destroyed, though, just got plunked right as it started. But, you know, Naga, a little bit of revenge. However, Nevix chasing it down in turret, courtesy of Saipe. The Horde getting blown here. VP still looking to take a bit of an edge. Got Luna doing a little bit of dancing right now. Fate gonna follow up that dance with an Encores. Trust me, gets on the Sparker. So, okay, LG getting a little bit of stabilization here. The respawns are gonna be back in here in just a moment. And you know, if you're VP, you might back out for a bit here. You know, let this dance run its course.
Yeah, definitely waiting out. And as long as you can deal with, oh my god, early ultimate from Trust Me 2 on the inside. They're trying to find these delays, but now they're going to get caught out.
Yeah, you're really overextended for that. You're running into the torch out. Rajaro tries to end it, drops Meteor M, and does not get the pick off. The support is there here for VP. The fires are burning, and Naga is roasted alive as VP get the pickoffs, led by the torch, 3-0. And LG, we'll see if they're able to delay here on the point, but Portal should still be on cooldown and might not be happening.
What a heads-up play from Dridro there. If they find a stagger, that's brutal, but the hard pocket's coming through. Here comes the Star-Lord, just and the portal too, but can they even touch? No, it's so late from LG. Now we move into the third phase of the map, but that was a heads-up play by Dridro just to go into the passive skate away from the Meteor from Rajaro. We've seen him connect in the previous series, and Rajaro not able to find the same value as he did in the last one. 2 minutes and 30 seconds now, ZP.
Overall, I gotta ask, are you liking the Star-Lord pick so far here from LG? Like, you think about the differences between teams. You know, you got Star-Lord, Hela versus Torch, and you know, Namor on the other side. Like, what are your thoughts?
I mean, theoretically, I feel like it should be good. I don't mind. I don't like playing against a good Star-Lord player. It feels like they don't do anything most of the time, but the ultimate does so much. It's just able to get so much value with just the aimbot in the sky, right? So we'll see if he can get that same value. I don't mind it. We'll see if it can pan out.
Nearly getting 5, forcing him down to the ground where he just has to use the Meteor Strike to get right down. And oh, the ult running out of steam as Destroyed picks up 2 towards the very end. High Goddess of Death value here. Sparker tries to turn the tide with the horn, but not quite going to be enough. LG there immediately with the Fate, and Naga, ooh, heard you talking about Star-Lord, gets the cleanup there at the very end. So LG, nice stabilization, and you know, they have silently burned a lot of time off the clock. It is only 1:30 left now for VP.
That is the benefit of the Star-Lord, is that we're going to constantly see him go in with the bubble, right? Just get the blasters. Pretty straightforward gameplay loop, I think, we see out of Star-Lord, whereas on the other side for VP, a lot more in that neutral, like we talked about, is more important for them. Here comes the early 5 matched by Naga in the bubble.
He waited for it. He says, I'm going to quench your flame. Just goes up there. That was a calculated crushing set up by Naga. Ult for ult, but one way better against the other in the head-to-head. Fate, meanwhile, going to use Fate, his namesake, here on the point. A little bit of dancing to keep LG alive. Meteor and in from Rajaro does not connect. Virtus.pro now. Knocked back a little bit, waiting for Fi to get back into the fight. Sparker dancing in the regen domain, connects! Gets Naga out of the sky. Sets up VP now for the 6-5, but they lose Finzi. I think you like that trade if you're LG.
Yeah, you don't mind it. Although they do give up some space, they still have Rajaro here on the cart. Deep whale into the backside, matched by a supportal.
Deep whale. That's not just a normal whale. It's going deep, but in this case, the fall through not there. Destroyed, meanwhile, able to get a little bit the high ground, taking Fi out of the sky once more. VP just getting completely gummed up here on the third point, looking for any way of causing momentum, and Nevix is down and they have nothing to bank. This should be a hold, I feels like.
It really should. I mean, VP have nothing. Finzi gets staggered. Sparker with the elim. I mean, he's been able to do that so consistently. 2 seconds, 1 second. Anybody get touched? They do have somebody touching, but they're down Dritro to Saipe with the copy coming back. He's going to go down. Overtime. You got the hold here.
He didn't even get a person to copy, then start the dance.
Portal, though.
Oh, boy. And trust me, goes on in, and that is it. The hold here on last. And look, it was LG's map choice. And we've seen this before earlier in the day, where just because you got a hold before last doesn't mean...
Corbo, whoa! Thank you for watching Rivals Fight Night.
Somebody kill Bucket, man.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but I mean that's a little bit harsh. Like first you're trying to talk about get the support off this team. Now like deep six Puckett, but look, we'll see what the attack goes here from LG because it might.
You're
be
not going to say thank you. Have you ever thought or tried to say thank you?
No.
To Corbo for the sub?
Oh yeah, is Corbo working in the chat to say thank you for the shout out?
No. We owe him a thank you. Thanks,
we owe him a thank you. He's getting his name broadcasted to thousands of people.
Dog man, it cost him $5. It was an investment in happiness.
Actually, no.
That is not a lot of money.
Twitch subs have deflated, Puckett. Like maybe you don't know the price of groceries. You just up your ivory tower, but it's actually $6.99 now.
Yeah, how much is a gallon of milk, Puckett?
On Instacart, $5.49.
Oh God, he's using Instacart. Okay, moving along here as Puckett continues to host for the ivory tower. LG, good defense in the last round. VP though, we'll see if they're able to have an even stronger defense. Where overall team comp wise, they're not changing much, Dogman.
No. I mean, it's interesting, Puckett, ZP, that you mentioned the Namor earlier, right? The difficulty with the Namor versus Star-Lord in this matchup is that it's very hinging on hitting your right clicks. And versus Luminosity's comp, Naga's flying all over the place. The guy that you're trying to match is in the sky, flying all over you in the blasters, teleporting back and forth. And it's very hard to hit the right click on Sparker to get that. That's where a lot of your damage comes from. And we know Sparker is the type on Namor to hit those shots, and he's been somebody that could play the Namor to that level, but it's going to be hard versus Luminosity's comp.
VP right now looking to hold firm. Shield getting broken here for Finzi, so Finzi gonna have to take a step back. Neutral pole coming in from LG, rather strong here at the moment. Meanwhile, Fi in the building. Flyer, doesn't matter. Up close and personal, helping Sparker get that early pick. So LG now down one as Rajaro's just getting torn apart in the front line. Down to find the other side. Looking at Sparker, but Fi. The torch just hovering ever so slowly, causing doom.
Cuz Lightyear, welcome to the family. Back to you, Dogman.
This guy, I'm literally losing my mind over here, dude. I'm like thinking about the game, and here comes Puckett from the top ropes. He's like, by the way, thanks for the Prime subs. 5 big booms for my dead grandpa. That's what Puckett sounds like.
Boom! Boom! Oh, boy. Well, here's what's interesting about the actual game, which we're currently watching, which is that LG has been struggling to get things going here on their attack. Sparker, though, almost in a heap of trouble, gets the support on his way. Nelix is like, I got you. Walks on over. Blinds up a little bit. Sparker, meanwhile, still laying in damage here. Squid army right here with them. Radioactive squid out there somewhere. But Nevix getting super low. 30 HP, and yeah, time to go back to banner. LG, they have a full ult bank. Here comes Naga, dropping the Galactic Legend. But meanwhile, Dreedro says, I'm gonna dance it off. I'm not that worried. However, you got the seduction coming on in from VP as they try and slow things down. All ults being burned here. Everyone's electricity is flowing. But Rajaro with 3, now 4 as LG. They win the ultimate showdown.
Yeah, this is a bit of a last meta approach from VP with these flanks on the Namor. It's just they took a bit more of an active approach. I think LG that fight with taking out that flank, making sure they could pick off Nevix. Portal, by the way, was available. Not going to actually utilize it here, knowing they're not close enough. Second phase of the map, but they took a bit more of an active approach there, ZP, trying to make sure Sparker couldn't sit on those off angles, force Nevix to come and peel, and they took care of the Hulk that fight.
Bye. Right back in the fight. VP trying to buy some time for positioning to make every bit of the streets phase here painful. The fire, though, getting quelled a little bit now. Fi back to normal Human Torches. Nevix walked on in, got pummeled, but was able to save the ult in turn. So VP, it's interesting how this plays out, Dog, where you see just the torch making areas of ground like hard to get through, and VP just slowly backs out.
Yeah, I like this from LG though. They're constantly pressuring Nevix. If you can find this Hulk, that's sort of the weak link I think for VP right now. They need to make sure this Hulk is not comfortable, forces those bubbles out early, and I mean, I just like the matchup for LG right now because Sestroin could take care of the squids on Hela.
LG right now trying to figure out how to get through the choke point. 3 minutes here to do it. Galactic Legend in from Naga, and usually that means you look for the torch, and you look at Fi's like, no, I'll take a quick hidey hole here to the left. Like, I don't want to deal with that. This man's screaming, he's in the air, he's shooting. Naga though, blaster barrage there towards the end, looking for a little bit more extra damage. Rojaro, Meteor M, is it gonna connect? No. Meanwhile, Finzi, off the seduction, gets on the Fate, sets the tone here for VP. They withstand the ultimate barrage from LG.
This is River. Welcome to the family.
VP, if I just ignore him, does he stop or?
No, it happens more. Dogman, also Mub says, hi, Dogman, with a sub.
I don't even know who that is. Who is that person?
Well, that just makes you a bad person. Like,
I'm
you
just
don't
a
even know this
bad-
person
yeah, I'm a bad
that's adding support. Like, come on, man. But, bye. Getting ready to ult. Denying the staircase over to the left. The control coming out from Torch, actually ridiculous here for Good. Drop Supernova. And again, even if this is a kills dog, man, it just buys time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this ultimate is hard to utilize, I think, and like you said, just buying time with it, just kind of forcing away Luminosity and building up the support ults all the while, and has taken so many eyes off of LG on this engage. They've not figured it out at all.
Not one bit. However, trust me, decides time to pop the Emma ult. Look for a way through. VP, again, masters of disengaging, getting out there. Naga having to take reprieve into Regeneration Domain. Destroyed. Drops the Gods of Death and actually gets the Luna, one of the biggest picks you can get. Gives his life for it, but that's a trade you take any day of the week. And here comes Naga. Galactic Legend good to go. Not needed to put Torch back into the ground. Now, we're deep diving right now. Looking for the God of Mischief, who is desperately trying to run away. Down goes Mr. President.
Yeah, rest in peace to the President. Now VP on their defense. Comes back through with ultimates, right? Nevix can kind of create that space for that backline, and like you said earlier, ZP, they've done such a good job. Early ultimates by LG, though, to take advantage of the positioning.
Naga trying to keep the momentum going forward. VP, though, they're going to dance their way on through it. Nevix diving on in, looking for a little bit more. VP still looking healthy and whole. LG, though, responding with fate of their own. And now you got to look to Rojaro. All the stage has been set here for a huge Meteor M. He's good to go. 99%. It is up. Where's this Meteor going to go? Sparker holding on to the horn in turn. LG, though, they have the Meteor M. They're looking. They're waiting. You got the Emma ult on the other side. No one downside. Nevix, meanwhile, getting bursted in turn. Gets the bubble, though, to stay alive. And the horn out. Bye. Able to get on Rojaro. VP getting the picks they need. Only 10 seconds left here for LG. This is a fight that they need to win. They might not even have time for a strange portal at this point. Or Rojaro, okay. Rojaro's going to drop the portal now. They're actually delaying right now, Dogman. He's trying to stay in place long enough so the portal can come out. It's smart. Naga goes down, but with the portal, they may have a second life.
Well, the portal's going to be late because he has to walk all the way out of spawn. So now it's coming in last second. They're here, but Supernova, oh my gosh. I mean, there's going to be so much damage on this objective. Rojaro does get Sparker. That's a nice pick.
All right. Still life here for LG. They lose Fate, however, and it was just too hot. Too hot to handle as VP comes out with the fuller hold here on Midtown, up 2-0, one nap away from the money.
I mean, they gotta know that the Sparker flank is coming, man. Like they saw him go top right with the shift, and we didn't walk forward enough. That's the way I like to see it out of LG. They didn't react to what VP was doing and was just constantly having Sparker on those flanks, going for your backline, going for your duelist. Sestroid, unfortunately, didn't look towards him. That was an uncharacteristic map, I would say, out of Sestroid. I don't think he played that good.
Sestroid getting bullied there, ZP, for a little bit. Fi in the sky, too hot to handle. 25,000 damage alongside Sparker's notorious 26k lobby leading damage. We take a look at the final blows. It was pretty even. You got some kills out of LG. You had a much longer attack, though. On the other side, who was the MVP in your eyes, ZP?
So for me, the MVPs of the game, you know, obviously I think I agree with the game here in terms of 5 for VP. I think the torch play has been a sight to behold. But I think for LG, the thing I'd have to give it to is I would still give it to Naga, where Naga is still finding ways of shutting down the torch, ways of making Galactic Legend work at points. It wasn't quite enough overall. It was too many threats to deal with. But, you know, Naga did have some good moments in that game.
All right, so we have Soul Zed, whose very first comment in the chat was roasting ZP's bans and protect. So Soul, you're on the clock, GM. What are you doing? You give me one ban, one protect, and then another another ban, and then another protect. You know what? Give me 2 of each. Dogman, how does Luminosity get back in this series? Is it as simple as 2-3 bans?
Probably not. I mean, they got to get rid of the Psylocke every time. I mean, I don't think they're going to change that, and then we'll probably see a Human Torch Protect on their side. So, I mean, we could see the Human Torch ban come from LG's side, but we already know what Sparker can do on Psylocke, and we know what Naga can't do on Psylocke, is the way I would like to put it. And I think ZP called it out earlier. He did really good on the Star-Lord. It's just, their defense, unfortunately, just struggled at certain points.
There was a question from the chat, and they even used quotation marks. Why don't we see more of the thing, ZP?
Why we're not seeing more of the thing? Well, you have your options here between you could play the thing or you could play Emma Frost. And the reality is that I think teams right now are just valuing Emma that much more, along with Magneto, who, Dogman mentioned earlier, probably arguably the best Vanguard in the game. So
all right,
you want to see some of the thing? You got to get rid of the top 2 right now.
Back to the subs, all right? Mubs finally getting it in over Dogman. You made Mubs sad. Dogman, apologize while we take a look at some ultimates.
No. Unsub right now.
Oh, okay.
That's how upset I am. No, I'm not apologizing. No way.
Inconsiderate Raccoon, welcome to the stream.
God damn it.
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Bring all of your friends. Yeah, this is pretty great. I'm here for the uppercuts. Trust me, running it down on Emma, but unfortunately, VP's front line with Finzi and Nebix. I don't know how you beat these guys.
You see, LG's problem is they don't have enough people prime subbing to Fight Night. I think that's why they're losing right now.
Probably.
What do you think about that?
Luminosity, come on in.
I mean, you say that, and yet VP actually has done more subs than anyone else. So it's not entirely unrelated. Perhaps,
Finzi is our top donor. Does it buy you karma here on Rivals Fight Night? Possibly. Does it give you superpowers like Fi in the sky here? Look at this guy. You too could be pounding. All for the use of your Prime sub. 100% guaranteed to work.
Well,
Dustin will vouch for that one.
No, I won't. Absolutely not. That's fake news. Don't try to put words in my mouth, Bucket.
Neutral Pain, does that crown mean you used your Prime or you're about to? In the meantime, I'm told we're not going to a break. We're going to play game 3, then we'll go to a break. Luminosity, no need to slow this down. Keep it rolling. You know what to do. Don't go to domination. We're going to the path, right, ZP? Extra Soul, is that their best bet?
I honestly, I think LG has looked good on path. I think the thing that they have to change here is not the thing, but actually come in here and remove what VP has been doing well. You're down 2 maps. You need to change something. Look, even if that means you have to deal with something like a Psylocke, like Psylocke is being first banned. And yes, Psylocke can be an absolute terror with the new Emma Frost team up. But you know what you do? If they decide, we're going to go protect Psylocke after, just remove the Emma Frost. Like, you have ways around this sort of play. And you can't do what you've been doing the last 2 maps because it hasn't been working. It is time to make some adjustments. And as you go to Spider Islands, now's the time.
There's also time for a shout out. We have the Envy heads in the building. Hastro buys Envy back. He immediately signs a Rivals team and then hits us with the sub. Also, Van Cafey, thank you very much for joining us. Shout out to my guy Tasmo. Miss you from the Overwatch League days. And of course, we've got a whole bunch of new first-time chatters. Did you know Celsius is not an official sponsor of Rivals Fight Night yet, but I'm going to send them this clip because I am caffeinated, dog, man. Let's sell some shit.
You can't convince me Pucket's not just an AI meant to milk everybody from their cash in the chat. That's must be what
he made the program him? It's like the other Simpsons. It's like he did this. That means money. Like
money. Print it. Send it here.
Does that mean
I learned from
here
Courage.
We go. I'm doing my own show. We got Rain actually, because we're not sponsored by anybody either. We got Rain to match your Celsius. I was actually thinking about buying a Celsius today, Puckett, but I saw Rain instead.
Is Rain like the old school Overwatch League Rain?
No, they have
Similar
a different logo. I'm not. Why are we showing? This is a bad idea, dude.
I don't know.
That's all
Jekyll 003 deserves our attention. Rain with the similar logo to the Atlanta Rain. No, nothing the same. ZP is lost in space. Can you please bring us back Luna Snow? You've been hiding her all day, ZP.
Okay,
She used to just sit there in the corner. You just stare at her beautiful face, and now you just shame her. You put her in the back. You put her behind the chair. There it is. Thank you.
Oh, anything for you, Bucket. As we've gone through subs, we've gone through all sorts of filling now. Where, in case anyone was wondering, what is the method to the madness here? Well, we've talked a lot about the game, and sometimes you gotta fill. But guess what? We're in map. We got the pick ban, and Luminosity, for the love of God, change something. Let Psylocke live. Make Johnny die. There you go.
Nope.
Oh,
nope. It's they can't play it, man. They just can't, unfortunately, and they can't play the other comp either, like you said, ZP. But no change for these guys on Luminosity's side. The Protect could change though, right?
The Protect could change. Bucket's unimpressed.
I'm like, all right, hey, production, we're gonna start to like create little 30-minute segments. Sorry, 30-second segments. We're just gonna play them during the bans and protects, and then summarize that Virtus.pro got rid of the Groot, then they got rid of the Raccoon, and then they chose between a Star-Lord or an Atom. They're gonna do it all night. Lock in, dog man. By the way, they're gonna keep their torch and they're gonna keep their Luna unless you stop them.
Keep going. No, keep going. I'm ready. What's gonna happen next, Bucket? Take a sip of the Celsius. Okay, there's the rocket.
Yeah, that's the rocket. That's the rocket. Okay.
Yep.
Bring them out. Invisible Woman.
Okay.
You're scared of their Invisible Woman.
Oh, I think it's more, they're scared of the team up, where it's like truly they're scared of thighs. So, yes, I think they repeat entirely here, which is probably not good for LG.
All right, you want to watch this, dog man? You want to watch this?
Watch it.
Luna Sky. No. Sorry, that's the other side. This is a Venom. Then we're going Luna.
Okay.
Luna. Hit me with it. Hit me with it.
Would Puckett know this without the production aids here?
No, he wouldn't. There's no way.
Like, does Puckett have the short-term memory to like remember all this
I don't think
without the
so.
cheat sheet being literally right underneath? Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, because
Just saying.
Puckett's got the probably the worst ADHD I've ever seen of a host, but he somehow keeps it under control. That's the thing about Puckett. You
just gotta bounce around. Keep the people involved, because you guys were bored as F during that. You don't care about what could possibly happen. You were just waiting for it to be done so we could start the effing game, right? Me too. Rivals, we're gonna speed this up together. Let's get into it. We got ZP and Dogman, our very special guest, who I'm gonna make a permanent guest here on the mic.
No. Man.
Well,
I love Puckett. I love you too, ZP, man. This has been a lot of fun to witness the bands. Do you think it's as boring as Puckett says? I think it's kind of fun.
I don't think it's boring in the way Puckett say, but I do think it's one of those things where there is a silent voice to be. Well, it's not silent because it's actually screaming, going like, "LG, please, like, you must change something up." Where I mean, look, they didn't look terrible in the last map, but I just think that this early on in the meta, you've kind of hit a point where I don't think they figured out all the answers from some of the new stuff that VP is doing. You're down 2 maps in the hole. You know, what's the harm in changing? Oh, you might be a 3rd map down. Well, your trajectory was already that way anyways. But regardless, we're getting into it. And okay, this is the change though, Dogman. Take a look at Naga. He's heating up.
He is. He could be a good torch player, man. He really could be. And well, CP, this goes back to like an overarching thing as we open the doors of the map. That, you know, this goes back to the whole goats conversation, ZP, where it's like you see teams losing on goats and doing poor on it. Like, why don't you change something up? But I mean, in practice, it's like, you know, players are stubborn, right? And you want to play the meta.
Yeah, pretty much. And also, I mean, there is kind of the, you know, esports theorem, regardless of game, is that usually the team that goes to the mirror loses, and oh god, Destroy just got crushed. You think Emma Frost is out here crushing people? I mean, Johnny's got some crushing in him too, from the looks of it.
From what I've seen too, people thirst over Johnny. I mean, like nice freeze. Holy smokes, but doesn't matter. The lost team fight, obviously. But yeah, people love Human Torch. And oh my god, mid-air freeze as well. These are some brutal staggers now coming onto LG. They try to go for the first hold, close point, ZP, but did not work out for them with that early pick, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, I think LG was more willing to play Torch here because it's on defense, but if this wasn't in their playbook at the start of the series, again, it's just, you know, the team that swaps to what the other team is doing, usually it doesn't pan out. But we'll see if this goes against the grain. I think the other interesting thing here too, though, is that, in terms of hero pool depth, they're not doing the full mirror. They're not running into more of their own, which normally would be played by Naga. And maybe this is a world where Destroyed is like, I don't know how to play these characters. Like, I don't want to do that.
He's like, put me on the Hella. Honestly, I like it, though. I think that, in theory, Hella should counter the Namor because you could just remove the squids, right? That's like the whole thing with Sparker, is that if his squids are down, that's so much of his damage output removed. So I imagine for a destroying side, and maybe the whole team as a whole, like as a unit, have decided, okay, maybe this Namor doesn't find value if we just remove the squids. But Sparker is so patient with these flank timings.
Sparker right now just setting up, going, where do I want to blow this horn? Who do I dislike enough to put a whale over? I mean, you stop with it as like, a way of treating your enemies. Just throw a whale with 4 legs at them. Or just get sent back to spawn Destroyed, going, no. Don't need to nuke the whales if the whale doesn't exist to begin with. And really nice positioning and shots coming out here from Destroyed. Nearly gets a third.
I think he's figured it out, ZP. It's like, Sparker is going to be on that flank. He's going to be over there, similar to what Delena does in North America. And Destroyed just needs to read it, right? That was the difficulty on Midtown, is they didn't read the flanks. And that's primarily because Destroyed's looking towards Phi. Maybe, like you said earlier, ZP, with the matchup in the sky from Naga, that potentially buys some extra space for Destroyed, because that duel is happening in the sky. Now you can look for Sparker on the left flank.
Well, LG, they've stabilized, and, in recent history, VP is good for, like, 1 map loss per series, so maybe this is it if LG gets a really good defense here. Emma coming on in. A little bit of seduction here from Trust Me. Destroyed, meanwhile, is like, no, Emma, you do your thing. I will do squid control. And a little bit of Hulk control here in the back as Nevix gonna pop the ult to prevent the detransformation here. Fate going down at the same time, so you got good disruption in from VP to set things up here. Nevix into the back line. Destroyed, still just having to control squids. He's more exterminator than player killer at this point.
Well, look, everybody's over there too. I believe Sparker's over there, Phi's over there. People are just controlling this flank, and it eventually pans out. It's Destroyed. I mean, poor guy. He's just chunking through Hulk the whole time, chunking through some form of tank, and LG try to work back into this without a member of their team.
And they don't have much time to get back over, but they get back in. They're dancing here with the Fate. The portal, though, coming on in from LG. The get respawns back in even more. Finzi, though, takes a higher ground position, dropping the Psionic Seduction, and it's enough to get rid of Trust Me and Majaro. The Vanguards for LG getting decimated by Finzi with the Emma ult. And do you really want to step through that portal? Well, now you can't. It's gone.
That was a good hold there, ZP, from LG. I think that they sort of figured it out until the very end, obviously, when Nevix popped the ultimate. But, now we enter the streets phase of the map. We saw this before, where it was just like a snowball. I don't know, LG, ZP, how do they stop the snowball from happening right now from VP's side? Because we've seen them find picks in these cases before.
Well, I think you kind of touch on it, is that, in a way, it's like you need a better play in the neutral here. Or, in this case, just using Torch Ult actually does slow things down a lot. If nothing else, like, it's one of those ultimates right now where even if you don't get a single kill, you look at the impact on the game, and it's like, usually it'll cause people to stop. However, the front line wasn't there, so VP still got push on the payload the entire time. It does arguably get the Fate out. So that's out in turn. Trust me, dropping the Psionic Seduction in turn. We'll see if they get a kill off it right now. Nevix getting pummeled. Nevix is like at that window right now where Nevix is getting bursted down before he gets all that critical 5% as Naga goes on in here with the ult.
The hard pocket comes through under that torch on the right side as well. Counter Fate of both worlds happening. Meanwhile, the cart's still pushing. No time has stalled. Missed whale, though, on the front side from the attack of VP.
Yeah, Nevix also getting caught towards the end. Knocked out Hulk form, banner. Easy to grab right after. It's Destroyed. Super low. That was a goddess of death to save life. Not so much get a moment of opportunity, but still works out. Destroyed, able to get healed back up out of the ult. LG finding a decent amount of stabilization here so far. But here we go, Finzi again with the ult. Going a little bit off the high ground. Won't be as effective as last time. Does not appear to be the case. See Rajaro, though. Again, hit with the Hulk CC. Finzi, meanwhile, charged up, good to go. Finds Naga over on the right-hand side. VP now working with a one-man advantage. And LG, right now, they're so close to critical ultimates, but trust me, he's not going to make it.
No, this is a good push from VP, and this all stems from the fact that the hardest pocket in the world is going to Sparker. I mean, every time we see Sparker, quote unquote, out of position, a Hulk comes through to give him a bubble. Hype's there with the crystals, or Dridro's there with the clap from Luna Snow. Like, this is the hardest pocket I've ever seen for a duelist player, and it makes sense to see why Sparker is popping off like he does. It's because the entire team is just built around keeping Sparker alive.
Also, on top of it is that before you can even like really go after him, you have to do squid control on top of it. So you have to run the obstacle course, and he's still getting killed the entire way through. So you know, the Lord of the Sea, pretty well protected. The perks of royalty. You know, you get your own secret service courtesy of the rest of Virtus.pro. But Sparker gets the pick on the Fate. Actually, massive early pick onto the strategist. Finding room to get extra damage in, which is going to be healed up anywhere near as efficiently. And I mean, LG, there's a lot of space to give up on last dog, man.
Yeah, they're literally being spawn camped right now. This is like old shades of old. What was the team?
Selfless.
The orange team, Selfless. Yeah, just absolute brutal play. More orange teams in this game as well. That's convenient, but they're trying to come out with ultimates. They have to come out of spawn. And that's like every ult for LG.
LG draining the bank to get some stability here on last point. Meanwhile, Sparker, he's got the whale. It's locked, loaded, fed, ready to hop on in. Fi, meanwhile, making all the terrain just devastating for LG to stay in. LG, the dance ends up fading. Fate gonna dance himself, it ends up going down. Can't start. VP, a well-timed dive, 2 down already. Rajaro gonna drop the Meteor M. Can't find any stabilization. LG getting picked apart on all sides. It's going to be a completion here from VP, not with a ton of time left, but completing this map at all, often a success.
Yeah, I might be convinced Namor is meta now, ZP. I might be. I think that it was just it's destroying. Every time we were on his POV, he's dealing with Hulk, he's dealing with the squids, like you said, and I don't know if he's doing anything on the Hela, like enough on Hela, I should say. To be fair, I don't blame him though, because he has to chunk through so much HP on Nevex and the squids, like you said. I don't know what you do on that hero.
So previously, and at least at low ranks, you can get rid of all the squids just running Moon Knight, right? Free target practice. It's just going to bounce your boomerang everywhere. Is Moon Knight not doing enough DPS to be ran at a pro level? Why don't we see any of him?
I would say, like, well, Moon Knight used to be giga busted, first of all, like a couple patches ago, because his ultimate would just one-shot you. So it's like, anytime you'd support ult, you just die into the Moon Knight ult, whatever Moon Knight Groot combo. First of all, yeah, Groot's out of the meta right now, or sorry, out of the ban phase, so it's tough with that synergy removed, but I've heard good things about Moon Knight right now. I mean, he could be played, but versus Human Torch and versus like the squids as well, when you throw your right click on Moon Knight, you don't get armor, you don't get the overhealth like you would versus like a real player. So partially that reason, it's kind of hard to just live on Moon Knight, and you need that overhealth, you need that armor to get any value.
Also, I have a more like basic primal reason, is that I think Moon Knight, the inherentness of his kit, it just doesn't scale with skill at this level the way that other characters do. Like, you get way more skill-based scaling out of the Hela than a Moon Knight, just by virtue of what good mechanics get you with one hero versus another, you know? You're kind of limited by the system at times with Moon Knight.
Yeah.
The system.
That's right, the man keeping you down.
I'm just surprised.
Don't let the man keep you down. Use your Prime sub here on Rivals Fight Night. Back to you, dog man.
Damn it.
Well,
I was going to say.
We got an early pick off, by the way, which hurts LG's attack. It's LG on the attack here first, and already just getting pummeled here by VP, where, remember, LG, to win the map and keep the series alive, to not let VP win the money match yet again. They need to complete the map and get ready for extra rounds, but it is a long way to go, Dogman.
It is a long way to go, and right now VP just using the cooldowns perfectly to back on out of there, build up towards those ultimates. I mean, they're already close to Saipe on his, and in the sky, Naga is just getting kind of diffed a little bit by Fi.
Well, I think Fi came in here with way more practice on torches. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that for sure, days, but right? Based on the eye test and based on what LG has been playing, personally, that's my headcanon. However, Sparker, all the President's men cannot save him that time. Royalty down in action, and that might be the spark that LG needs to get going. And speaking of sparks, we got Wildfire in the air here, Torch v Torch. However, you take a look here, Fi, getting the extra support, moving on in. Little bit of conceding coming in there from Naga, has to back out for a moment. Meanwhile, Saipe Fate of both worlds gonna be dropped here. Virtus.pro not really wanting to give up much in terms of progress. And Vi getting fiery here, dropping the ult, taking down Destroyed, getting pummeled though in turn. Rajaro, a little bit of help in turn. And now LG moving on to that point, investing everything they got. They got double Fate up over here. Everyone is dancing. And you got Naga still sent things on fire. Ultimate now fading. VP on the back foot. Nevix going, please, I just need 3% more. Don't burst me down here just yet. 1% gets it in time. Nevix gonna be able to delay even more now.
Yeah, he's just able to go on this front line, jump on to short. And another thing I didn't think about too was the nerfs to Hella that came through with her Crow being 15-second cooldown instead of 12 also means that she doesn't really have those iframes as up as she usually does. Whereas Namor didn't get touched, right? He still has his bubble to this kind of shift and stay alive. Nevix on the front line, just soaking all of this damage, and so much support is coming into his back.
Nevix just pushing the limits really expertly on the Hulk all day long, but looking back to our man off in the sky. He's burning. He's hot. He's ready to go. Fi dancing around, looking for the right engagement here, and decides, I'm the true Johnny. Puts a little bit of pressure onto Naga, and he still forces Naga to give up positioning there. When you dive to the ground, it takes a little bit to step back up.
Yeah, well, look at the smart play too from Vi to jump back to the team, play into the Fate of the World's ultimate. Just knew that was coming up because his team coordinated that. And Destroyed has to kind of run away back to the spawn again. I mean, LG's about to get first held here, it looks here, ZP.
45 seconds left. Luminosity trying to extend the series here in Rivals Fight Night Europe. Virtus.pro looking to be our champion once more. 1,000 on the line. Naga opens up with the pick onto Fi. LG not wanting to give up here just yet on their pick. A little bit of Loki clones. Again, pummeled on down. Naga, his ult good to go. LG, the bank stocked. VP, a little bit more repressed here in what they have available. Nevix, though, looking to buy time. Torch v Torch here once again. Naga decides it's time, though, use the ult and ignores his counterpart. Goes on squid duty, moves back over to the payload. Virtus.pro, meanwhile, just backing on out. A little bit of dive in from Naga, trying to make something happen, but VP, they hold back. They find the opportunity to punish Destroyed. And LG, this could be the end. Overtime in progress here. And LG, how long can they keep this going? They're already down 2.
Yeah, this might be it. Here comes the meteor from LG. Rajaro would have to be huge, but he's getting burned to death from Fi in the sky. And this man has been unbelievably unstoppable on the Human Torch. I mean, beautiful work from Virtus.pro to win the series.
VP, your champions once more, proving that they're not just one season wonders, new season hits, new looks, new heroes, same great result if you're a fan of Virtus.pro.
Come see us on the global leaderboard. Virtus.pro dominance in EU continues. 6-time champions. ZP, that is literally dozens of tens of dollars for these guys.
That's right. And it really works out well for us because we are taking a significant percentage of that when Finzi and Appreciation comes back to our channel and hits us with the Twitch Prime and gifted subs. So thank you, VP. The circle of life continues.
Virtus.pro and a dub, something we're familiar with. Another clean 3-0 this time around. Finzi, Nevix, Fi, Sparker, Saipe, and Drydro. Did I just say that?
Drydro.
Drydro. Thanks, bud.
Drydro.
Yeah. So I guess my fear is there any mode that Virtus.pro is bad at? What do we do from here, ZP?
I think right now the other teams are watching, they're waiting, and the upside, or rather the upside of playing against VP is that you get a lot of footage on them week after week. They're always playing, you know what they're good at, and now you got some game tape on them for season 2. So getting ready into next week, whoever the EU teams may be, there's a blueprint out here as to what VP likes to do in the season 2 meta, and you can come in a little bit more prepared, ready to go.
I want like a Fi guide on how to play Johnny. I think you're going to see a lot of people from tonight's stream playing Human Torch moving forward. Very, very impactful character. Finzi, congrats on the win already in the chat. Shout out to Leg Day, one of our commentators in this scene, hanging out as always. We've got Anna, Blaney, and more. If you haven't already, go on Twitter, follow Tempo ZP. Come to rebrand.
What happened to Raynad, man?
Shout out to a Dogman Dustin with 2 T's.
Why'd you say it like
that? Was there like an original Dustin that was taken?
No, man. No, it's my.
It's my wrong.
My mom did it for my dead grandma. Thanks, Puckett. I appreciate it, man.
Hey. It's like your mom named you after a 2T Dustin?
There already was one T. No, her name
Who
was
gave birth
Tilly.
to your mother?
I don't know. She's crazy. I don't know. Listen. It's original, you know. It's very annoying for sure for a lot of people. I can respect it if you don't get it right. But
all right, I was buying time for you guys to vote on MVP. I don't want to be involved in this one, Dogman and ZP. It's too hard to choose. You chose the Flame Boy, Johnny. Human Torch in the hands of Fi. Fi in the sky, setting the tone after it was LG up early in round 1. He single-handedly, not really. He had a lot of support. But he shut things down. His ultimate seemed to be the difference maker in a mirror match as well, Dogman.
Yeah, he's just so good on this hero. I mean, otherwise we could give it to the strategist, like we said. But yeah, I mean, he just was popping off, and I don't think it was anything Naga was necessarily doing wrong. It's just the combination of having the Namor and the Johnny just constantly in your face. Like I said earlier, like the very beginning of the stream, the big thing with Torch is that he just does everything well. It's not a hero that does anything poorly. You know, we've seen like Hela really good at final hits, maybe not the best at pumping out insane amounts of damage, and Punisher really good at getting a lot of damage out, but not really good at securing the kills. Johnny just does both, right? Human Torch pumps out the damage with his flame squares and different designs, whatever he does, and then he also just can get 1-shots or 2-shots, basically.
We didn't see a figure 8 tonight. Chat, if you know how to make a figure 8 on Spider Island, let us know. I don't know how you do it with 4 tornadoes, ZP, but it happened. Normally I'm used to like boxes, rectangles, some kind of parallelogram of some sort. Taking a look at the numbers, it's 9 final blows from 5. Finzi is going to top the lobby though with 12, and if you add up all of the final blows on the other side, you will notice that Finzi equals Luminosity. You're welcome, ZP.
That's some quick math and checks out. But I also want to say this when it comes to why you're seeing Torch as much, even against heroes like Hela, and still doing well. It's just the breakpoint's changed. When you give Torch the level of buffs he's gotten, he's just killing you quick enough that what would have been, you know, maybe an easy Hela pick in the last patch now could be the Hela going down, or the Hela feeling like, oh God, it's too much damage, I need to get out. And, you know, even small changes can lead up to really big changes in tempos, in individual matchups. And look, it's a new era here in Marvel Rivals, and looking like it's gonna be pretty toasty.
All right, last week we saw Emma Frost. This week we see her in action, as well as the Human Torch. What do you want to see when we come back, ladies and gentlemen? We are switching gears to North America, because we still have a whole half of a show remaining. Envy taking on Shroud X, followed by the reigning champs who took down 100 Thieves last week. It's Shikigami. Dogman, before you go, big shout out for joining the show. Take it down one more time.
My goodness, the whale from the sky connects on the payload, removes Sestroid again. He was the one who got destroyed today by Sparker. Overall, might be the best duelist in the game, Sparker. Maybe people were right.